Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ad America! Ad America is the U.S. Embassy's American Center, and our mission is to provide a space for young Indonesians to learn more about the United States. Hello, my name is Patricia Elizabeth, as one of the e-guides here. And before we talk any further, let's say to each other, to your left and right, Happy International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day, everyone. The beloved YSEALI alumni, our audience from Universitas Pelita Harapan, Institut Pertanian Bogor, today. Yes, I love your spirit. Today, we're gathering to celebrating 10 years of YSEALI. Now, please welcome to our amazing moderator. He is YSEALI Program Coordinator for Indonesia. Give a big round of applause to Putra Aditya.
Thank you, Trish. And hello, good afternoon, everyone. And I also would like to say hello to everyone who's watching online throughout Southeast Asia. So as Trish mentioned, I would also like to say Selamat Hari Perempuan Internasional or Happy International Women's Day. May we all keep striving to create a safer and more equal environment because we embrace equity. So I'm Putra Aditya, YSEALI Coordinator for US Mission to Indonesia, and I'm honored to moderate our discussion this afternoon. Allow me to share a brief introduction about YSEALI, or Young Southeast Asian Leaders Initiative. It is the US government signature program to nurture leadership development and networking for young leaders aged 18 to 35 across Southeast Asia through US fellowship, regional workshop, and grand competitions. Today, we are starting to celebrate YSEALI's 10th anniversary and highlighting the great work of Southeast Asian youth, what they have done within their community. To start this discussion, I would like to introduce our special guest. Daniel J. Crittenbring became the Assistant Secretary of State of East Asian and Pacific Affairs on September 2021. He is a career member of Senior Foreign Service, and Assistant Secretary Crittenbring has been an American diplomat since 1994. It's always young at heart, sir. Assistant Secretary Crittenbring previously served as U.S. Ambassador to Socialist Republic of Vietnam from 2017 to 2021, where he is also involved with many of YSEALI programs in the country. So please help me welcome Assistant Secretary Crittenbring for his opening remarks. Please.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Nice to see you. I just want to state at the outset, I absolutely love YSEALI. I think all of you, come on now, let's show some enthusiasm. I think all of you truly are rock stars, and I'm so excited to be here in Jakarta because, this is the heart of Southeast Asia. We think Southeast Asia is the world's most dynamic. It's the youngest. It's the most vital region in the world right now, and we're so proud to be engaged with all of you. I want to thank my friend Pucha for such a warm introduction. I also want to say hello to the Pelita Harapan University, and that's pretty good, and IPB. Yeah, there's still louder, so let's do that one more time. Pelita Harapan University? Yeah, okay, that's pretty good, and IPB. Okay, I don't know, it's closer, but I love the enthusiasm. I also want to recognize the fact that it was International Women's Day, and we're so pleased to have so many strong female leaders in YSEALI, including two amazing leaders in Ranitya Nurlita, known as Lita. Are you here? There you are. Nice to see you. And also Samantha Tian. Nice to see you, Samantha. So Lita and Samantha, we're so honored that you would join us today to discuss how YSEALI has impacted your activism and your careers. The United States believes in the power of women to constructively lead across all sectors of society and to be agents for positive social change. And I know that Lita and Samantha are just two examples of the many women in YSEALI who are transforming their communities. Now, while we're showcasing two great female leaders here today and two great female YSEALI alumni from Indonesia and Singapore, I want to underscore that YSEALI benefits, obviously, emerging leaders of all genders, all ethnicities, religions, and socioeconomic backgrounds across all of Southeast Asia. And this special program intentionally includes people of diverse backgrounds. The world needs the talents of people just like you, who represent the totality of society to forge the most just, prosperous, and environmentally sustainable future for us all. So, please allow me to take just a couple of minutes to tell those of you who may be somewhat new to YSEALI just a little bit about this fantastic leadership development program and how it can benefit young people. YSEALI offers fellowship and internship opportunities in the United States, regional workshops and programs, and a small grants program to fund member community projects to promising Southeast Asians age 18 to 35. YSEALI not only develops leadership and technical skills, but also helps young people from across Southeast Asia address shared challenges such as climate change, economic empowerment, civic engagement, responsive and accountable governance, diversity and inclusion, and education. Now, I mentioned to you a moment ago that you're all rock stars. The reason why I always think of that when I come to a YSEALI event is the first time I went to a YSEALI event was in 2015 in Kuala Lumpur together with former President Obama. And I walked into a place like this and it felt like going to a rock concert where there's so much enthusiasm and so much talent among young Southeast Asian leaders. And every time I've been to a YSEALI event, just like today, I've come away incredibly inspired. Old people like me, you should just give up on us, right? We're done. You are the future, and we are going to count on you to address the most challenging problems that we face today. And I'm optimistic with your talent and skill that we can overcome those challenges. During the past decade, we have developed a network of more than 160,000 young leaders from across Southeast Asia. More than 37,000 registered YSEALI members are from right here in Indonesia. Very proud of everyone here in Indonesia. Now, when YSEALI was launched 10 years ago, we hoped the program would serve as an incubator for the region's most talented innovators and influencers. And as you'll see today, the program has more than succeeded and has far exceeded our expectations. In fact, given the high achievements of YSEALI members like Lita and Samantha, and to celebrate YSEALI's 10th anniversary, the U.S. has expanded the benefits to even more young people in Indonesia and across the region. And in fact, to celebrate this momentous anniversary, we are doubling the size of the YSEALI program, such that 900 emerging leaders will benefit from YSEALI's academic and professional opportunities every year. And special, just for this year, for 2023, we will provide opportunities for YSEALI members to participate in regional workshops across Southeast Asia every month this year. I'm also pleased to announce that we will host the 10th anniversary YSEALI Summit right here in Indonesia, bringing together 150 young Southeast Asian leaders to address the top issues facing their generation. Now, when is the summit? What date? December 3rd or so. Okay, so mark your calendars. The 10th anniversary YSEALI Summit right here in Indonesia in December. So I hope you can see that there's never been a better time to join YSEALI than right now. So let's make sure that you, your friends, your family, and other talented people know about YSEALI and the opportunities offered to make our communities stronger. I'm asking all of you, our guests, our social media influencers, to join me in tagging your posts about today's event with the hashtag YSEALI10. If you are not already a member of YSEALI, I personally invite you to join this network and to apply for one of its programs. All you have to do is Google YSEALI, YSEALI. You know, I love YSEALI so much, I remembered I had a YSEALI pin in my bag, and I took it out to put it on YSEALI to find the official site and sign up. We need brilliant young minds, such as yours, to make positive change in the world. Beyond YSEALI, of course, we're committed to connecting with people in Indonesia and across Southeast Asia in many ways. Whenever people from different countries and communities meet, whether they're students, tourists, or business people, they deepen true understanding. People are at the core of our shared goals, whether they be in the areas of security, health, the environment, democratic principles, or the economy, which is why our people-to-people ties are so critical. And because we're here in Jakarta, I do want to say just a little bit about our strategic partnership with Indonesia. I came here on this trip for the past 3 days to Jakarta with two primary goals in mind. One is to further strengthen our strategic partnership and our ties with your beautiful country, Indonesia. Secondly, I came here to participate in 2 days of ASEAN-related meetings because I'm sure you all know that Indonesia is the chair of ASEAN this year, and the United States is committed to ASEAN centrality, the ASEAN outlook on the Indo-Pacific, and we're committed to our shared future together, our 1 billion people together, YSEALI in Southeast Asia, ASEAN, and the United States. I think we have a bright future together. The partnership that we have with Indonesia is focused on a number of key pillars. We want to increase economic development and trade. We want to develop educational and people-to-people ties, just like today. We want to strengthen our security partnerships. We want to fight emerging threats from things like climate change and pandemic disease, and we want to revitalize the democratic principles that underpin both of our great countries. So we'll have a Q&A session during today's program. I welcome all of you to ask questions today, and also, more importantly, please share with us your ideas about how we can make our partnership even stronger. And if we turn to the broader region, again, the United States is committed to being a reliable and durable partner to ASEAN. We believe in ASEAN, the power and the strength of 10, soon to be 11 countries of Southeast Asia. We appreciate and support ASEAN's ability to respond to security challenges from the South China Sea to Burma, and to work together to deliver results again for our combined 1 billion people. But it's ASEAN's youth that are increasingly engaged in advancing our shared values. They're demonstrating their commitment to ASEAN, to their countries, and to their communities every time they participate in YSEALI, when they design initiatives and community improvement projects, and when they take advantage of YSEALI networks, peers, and online learning opportunities. Indeed, ASEAN's youth, all of you, including the individuals here in this room today, are examples of why this year's ASEAN theme, Epicentrum of Growth, is so fitting. So I'd love to hear from people tuning in across Southeast Asia today regarding your thoughts on progress towards these goals during the Q&A session. So there's a lot of work we have to do together, but I'm confident together with all of you, our future will be very bright. Again, every time I've gone to a YSEALI event, I've been so inspired and energized, just like I am here today. Can't wait to get to meet all of you and hear from you today. Thanks for participating. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you so much, sir, for the inspiring word. You may take a seat. Yes, yes. And then let's start the discussion today. Help me welcome Samantha Tian, YSEALI alumni from Singapore, and also Ranitia Nurlita, YSEALI alumni from Indonesia. Please welcome Sam and Lita to the stage. Please, everyone, have a seat. So I would like to start the discussion with Lita, our own alumni. She is actually very famous, sir. She is a household name, a legend for YSEALI alumni in Indonesia, and she's graduated from IPB University. Can you hear it? So Lita is actually one of our very first YSEALI alumni from Indonesia. She went to East West Center in Hawaii to study global environmental issues in 2014, and she's also one of the very first winner for YSEALI Seeds for the Future Grand Competition in 2015. Give a round of applause for Lita. So we would like to hear from you directly, Lita. What has your journey with YSEALI become so far?
Okay. For me, thank you so much everyone here, and also thank you Bapak for coming to Indonesia. So yeah, you can call me Lita everyone. So maybe I'm like here the oldest alumni for YSEALI. So like all of you is like my junior, but it's like little older than you, but yeah, like yeah, I believe you are in the future will be next YSEALI, because for me YSEALI has really changed my life. That's 2014. I still remember the final students on that time, and then I'm still confusing, like because some of my lecturers said that it's not going to US because I should finish my study, but in my heart I should go in the US because I don't know in the future. And then during YSEALI, my mentor said that they asked, "What is your main future? What is your target for the 5, 10 years?" And then that's really make me think more. And then I discussed with my older mentors, and I said to them, because wisely, I'm really like the environment. What the best career for the people who care about the environment? And then they give me some references. And then for wisely, because the program is 5 weeks, so we went and we studied about the food security and then ecotourism. We also study about the urban planning. I'm really like my first impression when I was in Hawaii and EcoCycle in Boulder, Colorado. So I saw recycling centers and really clean. If I compare in Indonesia, it's really different. And then 2014, I'm thinking, can I make this someday in my country? And 2019, I made my own social business. The name is Waste Solution Hub to make my dream on 2014 happen. Yeah. So during 10 years as alumni of YSEALI, I'll also join many opportunity like YSEALI Sit for the Future grants. And the name is I got ASEAN Reusable Bag Campaign because after the program for academic fellowship, all the alumni should make the home project. And then I made ASEAN Reusable Bag Campaign. We're trying to reduce the plastic bag in Southeast Asian countries, and I work with all the alumni, yeah, from YSEALI. So we work with alumni from Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines. So we distribute more than 7,000 reusable bags to Southeast Asian countries in the 3 cities and 3 countries. And yeah, this kind of what we need. Yeah. And then after that, I also went to YSEALI Summit 2015.
You did.
Of course, I
In
did.
Kuala Lumpur.
Of course.
So I saw you there.
I saw you
Nice to
also.
see you again.
Nice to see you again. So yeah, so this also I learned many things from YC alumni, and we also step going, and also we have some of collaboration with also others
I remember
alumni.
seeing President Obama there.
Of course. Do you remember in the background? I wore the batik dress. That's me. Yeah. You can check at Google, President, yeah, President Obama, and the background alumni of YSEALI. So the batik, that's me. Yeah, the batik with the keris, yeah, parang rusak background. We call it that. Yeah. And then after that, this one also the program. So ASEAN Reusable Bag Campaign have the program for school. So this the photo of that what the children is really exciting. So they make like diary book, like how they reduce the plastic bag in the school. And then this is also we have launching here 2015, long time ago. So we have launched the first ASEAN reusable campaign also in at America. So we also invite our team from Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines, and also we have remark from the ambassadors in Jakarta. Yeah, and then after that, I'm more focused for waste management because when it's talk about the plastic awareness, it's mostly about education. But when we want to solve the problem, especially for the waste management, it's not only the um, awareness, but we also think about how to make the circular system and circular solutions. And then this we focus now for the waste management event service in area the Greater Jakarta. And then we also focus for tourism area because I live in Bali. So mostly in Bali to the eastern part. So we have project in Labuan Bajo, Flores. So this more focusing for the village, a tourism village to make more sustainable. So yeah, this kind of program that I did. And yeah, really during 10 years, I learned a lot as a YSEAL alumni. And besides that, also now I'm helping one of the YSEALI program become a mentors because YSEALI have the workshop for YSEALI women. The name is YSEALI for Earth. So I'm one of the mentors. So I hope that someday all the participants can be my next Lita. And I believe it's more than Lita. Because I believe every YSEALI alumni, they have something uniqueness between them. Yeah, so I believe they have the uniqueness and they can also increase their ability to be more. Because yeah, I'm here is like the oldest alumni, and I just want to make them inspire, and they can also make do more and achieve your goals. Because I still remember 10 years ago, I want to be environmentalist, and now I'm become environmental consultant. I'm work in the U.S. So besides West Hub, I also full time in the company. We do certification for the plastic ocean bound, not only in Indonesia, but also Malaysia and Thailand, and also in the Philippines, in China, and also some of the countries like Kenya and then Pakistan. I work mostly, my life is all about environment and waste management. Yeah, so this start with YSEALI. And of course, in the end, thank you for YSEALI.
Thank you so much, Lita, for
So
sharing your story.
inspirational.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, Lita, I'm
Assistant
so
Secretary,
inspired.
do you have any question or
I'm
comments?
look, I'm just blown away, Lita. Well, first of all, nice to see you again. I didn't realize that we were at the summit together in 2015 that I mentioned. But I'm so inspired. Can I ask though, how did you learn about YSEALI and why were you so interested in the environment from the beginning?
This beginning because my background is fisheries and marine sciences. Yeah, my bachelor's. So yeah, I saw in the field many plastic, many pollution. It's not only water pollutions, and also I diver. I'm a scuba diver. I saw in underwater. It's really sad. If I'm just blaming, oh, this regulation from the government is not good. It's yes, it's nothing happened because we just blaming. It's better to make one step solution, even only small scale. So for me, it's better make solution, even really small scale, but a step by step and by consistent. Yeah, we can make an impact. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Can I ask you one other question? You know, one of the goals we have through YSEALI is obviously to promote friendship between the United States and the people of Southeast Asia and of ASEAN. But one of the really neat things I've seen over the years in all the YSEALI events I've been are these connections and ties that people make across Southeast Asia. I remember at that 2015 summit, there was confusion when one of the people one of the young people stood up and introduced themselves to President Obama. First, they said they were from Thailand, and then they said from the Philippines. And everyone was like, well, where are you really from? And the person said, it doesn't matter. We're all ASEAN. And I really like that. But I'm wondering, I'm curious, have you found too that you've developed ties and developed cooperation with friends across Southeast Asia?
Yeah, for the first project, ASEAN Reusable Bag Campaign. So we work with the alumni of YSEALI also after we went to the US. So yes, from the Philippines and Malaysia, and I do many trip to Southeast Asian countries. The first people that I'm looking for, any YSEALI alumni here. This is the first thing that I should do. Let's do the gathering. Yeah.
Thank you, Lita. It's really
Yes.
an inspiration. Thank you.
And then following up to that question, we have our friends Samantha Tian, who flew all the way from Singapore to join us in this event. So Samantha, or Sam, is alumni of YSEALI Regional Workshop in Coron in the Philippines for Sea and Earth Advocates. And since then, you've been striving and working hard to protect the sea environment. So can you share to us about the great work you're doing in Singapore and in the region?
Thank you so much, Putra. And I think first a big thank you to Ad America and YSEALI team for bringing me over here. It really feels like it's come a full circle. And I resonate so much because I'm a diver as well. Yes, and even friendships that we forge in YSEALI will never end. Every time we come here, I'm always finding my YSEALI friends. But I think, hi everyone. Let me give a quick introduction about myself. So I'm Sam. I grew up in Singapore, and in Singapore, I know a lot of people think it's very clean, but actually, you can see here there's a lot of trash. So I've been doing cleanups the past more than 10 years. And there's always in Singapore, unfortunately, we deflect a lot of blame and responsibility on our waste. We say we are cleaned, not clean city. So the whole topic of waste to me has been really important, and it's something that I've been working on for the past, well, many years. So, but my journey started a bit differently. I was a bit feeling lost similarly. And in 2016, I decided that I wanted to do marine conservation. So I actually went to the Philippines to live for half a year as a whale shark scientist. And finally, you think that marine conservation is all about protecting animals, but then I realized I lived through so many typhoons. I worked with the fishermen, the boatmen, and then that's when I realized that actually supporting conservation and sustainability really goes to people. It's these coastal communities that my heart really goes out to. So I finished the project, and then I came back to Singapore feeling very lost. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do next, and that was 2016. So you asked the question, how do I know about YSEALI?
Yeah.
So it's like the strangest thing. After I came back to Singapore, I knew I wanted to do marine conservation. But in Singapore, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So I just Googled, like, hey, what can I do? And what programs can I apply for? And YSEALI came up. Yeah, it's crazy. So that was the first YSEALI experience I had. And we went to Sea Camp in Coron by Safe Philippine Seas. And I always remember this because we never ever get a chance to come together. I don't think there's any program in the world that can say at one time we have one person from every ASEAN country. And this program really changed my life. I was so inspired by all my friends in ASEAN, and I think that's really how Sustainable started. So a bit of context, I'm the founder of Sustainable, and Sustainable started because of YSEALI. I was very inspired and I wanted to bring the idea of sustainability back home to Singapore. And since then, without YSEALI, I wouldn't be here today. So we've actually done over 50 projects across 5 Southeast Asian countries, and we've raised $50,000 for micro grants since we began. So thank you very much, YSEALI. Yeah, so pretty much to wrap it up, I think ASEAN is really a network of all my friends, and what Sustainable stands for. It's not us being individual organizations. It's really connecting with the different YSEALI communities and amplifying our work throughout the region. Because I really think that despite us being over 30,000 islands, we really have an impact and we can really make a difference together. So that's just a bit about me, and thank you very much once again.
Thank you, Sam. And Assistant Secretary.
Well, Sam, again, thank you. What seriously an inspiring story. Thank you so much. I'm curious. You talked about that first event, and there were representatives from all across Southeast Asia. What was that like? What do you find, even though these are 10 very diverse countries? What do you find are the similarities or the things that bind you together across ASEAN?
I think one thing for me similarly is the heart. I think all of us have a passion for making ASEAN a greater place. And you can see that really through the work people are doing, how they're always connecting with communities. But one thing that I love the most is the different cultures. Coming from Singapore and being exposed to the different cultures of Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, it's so different and it's yet so beautifully drawn in a way that you still feel part of it. And I think even being part of an ASEAN family, we always feel connected. So I don't think I can really pinpoint how we have that feeling, but I think it's just a community and that we all are working towards the same cause.
It's beautiful. Can I ask you, and maybe Lita as well? I'm really curious because every YSEALI event I've been to in every country, I think what inspires me the most is people like the two of you. You are always focused on service and giving back to your country. And I'm just curious, where does that come from? Did you feel that way from an early age, or did someone inspire you to think about how to give back in service to your community? You want to go first, Lita?
Oh,
Or
okay. So yeah, I'm born in small city in East Java. So actually, I'm really silent people when until high school, and then I moved to IPB, and then everything changed because I saw many opportunities
so
in
IPB is
IPB.
a good school?
Of course,
Yeah,
we are top
okay.
three
Just checking. Just
university.
checking.
We are top 3 university in Indonesia, right? Yeah, okay. And then for me, because I'm really small girls from the village, and then moved to the big city like Bogor, and I saw many youth that they have many impact to the people, and then I asked to myself, can I do like that? Can I do like them? And then I try even like my background is not strong like them, but I always try, and I saw YSEALI because before YSEALI name is Susie, the studio of the UN Institute, and then Susie first, and then when I go to the US, they changed into YSEALI. And the first time I spell with YSEALI. It's kind of hard to spell, and then now it's YSEALI, so easy. Yeah.
Beautiful story. Sam, how about you? What inspired your commitment to service?
Well, I think for me personally, it was when my parents brought me to scuba dive when I was only 14 years old. And it was actually to Malaysia and Tioman. And then I was actually really interested about marine conservation. So I think that's where I cared about people first. Like when you're diving, you see lots of trash. You know, even I've been through opportunities. I've dived where there's even fish bombing, and I've heard the blast. And you know, you really see all these challenges. And so that's when my interest started. But I think, you know, it was really through YSEALI program that I realized that, you know, for me, caring about the environment is caring about the community. And that's when I think it kind of hit me, right? Like to have a purposeful life, you know, it's really about giving back. And also in the unfortunate, you know, challenges of the climate, we can only really move forward with positivity and serving others. So I think that's the motto that I try to live by, you know, despite, you know, all the challenges that we are now facing globally.
Thank you so much for the discussion. I believe that our audience here or online already have a lot of questions. So I'm going to open up a question and answer session. So any takers from the audience live here in at America would like to ask questions to our alumni and Assistant Secretary Kritan Bring. Any questions? I saw one over there. Yes, please.
Okay, check. Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. And my name is Nurwai Dimas Saputro. You can call me Dimas. I'm from IPB University, especially in Civil and Environmental Engineering Department. So, we know that all of the people in this world, in Indonesia and Singapore, believe that young generation is the key of the brighter future. But we can see nowadays, a lot of people, a lot of young generation destroy the environment or maybe doing something negatively. And I just curious about what do you think we as the college student can do, can contribute for our environment especially and create a better change and a brighter future for our country. And my question is to Kak Rani and Sam. Thank you so much.
Okay, Lita and Sam, how do you take the question?
Okay, for me, like we have many problems. Every city, every province, we have many problems. But before we start, we should also see what happened in. I still remember what my mentor said. See what happened in your community. Not only see, but also hear from them. And then after that, we know the challenge, we know the problems, and then we try to solve with our ability. So just don't think too big. Think with small step, and then start from them and still thinking, and then also learn from them. But when we want to make something solutions, we should hear about from the beneficiaries, because it's not only our idea, because it starts from the problem and how do we help to solve. And for me, like Wisely gave me many opportunities. Like I got grants because that year's the problem is about the plastic waste in Southeast Asian countries. I also got inspired when I was in Hawaii. I should pay around 10 15 cents per plastic bag. And on that area in Southeast Asian country, it's not really common. And then we just trying to how we make this kind of initiative to the Southeast Asian countries. So yeah, start with sharing about the idea, see many problems, and then take that as opportunity and a solution. And with your background, it's really good because it's about the environment engineering. So I believe you have like internship, do many internship because when I was students, I did many internship. Even my faculty is not provide, but I'm trying to seeking. Is there any internship? So you should have curiosity, how to improve your skill, how to improve your ability, because after you graduate, they will looking at your experience, not your degree, your GPA or something.
Thank you, Lita
Yeah.
and Sam.
Yeah, thank you for your question. And I think I do relate, when I'm trying my best to be sustainable, and even there are times that I slip up personally, and just seeing everyone around us and what can we do. So for me, a personal motto has always been to just try whenever I can, and have no expectations. And when people see you're passionate about the work that you do, I think people will follow. And an example of this is that when I was also first a student and I was an internship, and I was in this company that they have a lot of events, they have a lot of products, and then you're always having a lot of plastic everywhere. But for me, it was a habit for me to bring my own reusables. So maybe just a small example. So one day during the event, I just carried my reusable, and I don't want to tell anyone to do it. It's just from my personal ethos. And actually, the vice president of the company was there, and she saw me, and you know, I didn't say anything, but she was like, "Look, if our youth are doing it, we can do it too." And as a result of that, I managed to take the opportunity to change the whole office to a free single-use plastic opportunity. So I think for me would be to just be passionate about it, commit to your cause, and then I think people will see your passion and follow you as well.
Thank you, Sam. And
Can I add
Assistant
one
Secretary,
comment on, as the old guy, just to say the power of youth? I think about the impact of my own children. I was not very environmentally aware, but now my kids have made me that way because they scold me every time I go to throw away a piece of plastic and it's not in the recycling bin. They scold me. So we always talk about, think globally, act locally. Just, think and act in a way that impacts your immediate surrounding, and that ripple effect can have a big impact.
thank you so much, everyone. And then we also have one question from our online audience from Instagram. Sabrina is asking, how does YSEALI contribute to regional integration in Southeast Asia, especially ASEAN and Timor-Leste? Maybe Assistant Secretary, you would like to answer
Well,
that?
I can start with that, and then maybe we'll ask Dedra and others to chime in. But what I've seen is through the personal examples that I mentioned and that Lita and Sam have mentioned, a lot of our workshops are regional in nature, right? We pick a city, we bring people together from across all 10 countries of ASEAN and Timor-Leste to build that community, because we think just like the same vision that brought ASEAN together, I think can propel YSEALI to great heights as well. I should also mention there's a new YSEALI Academy at Fulbright University, Vietnam as well. And I know that is another place where we're trying to foster that regional connectivity. But I wonder, Lita and Sam, you must have more experience than I do in how YSEALI builds those regional connections.
Maybe I can share. So I think as with the opportunities that YSEALI has, especially for YSEALI Seeds of the Future, for your projects, with the power of digitalization and the presence of Zoom, I think, think about being inclusive to the whole region. So for example, in 2021, we did a YSEALI Seeds of the Future project to educate people about sustainability and the future of sustainability careers for youth. And yeah, we got speakers. Thank goodness for Zoom. We got speakers not just from Singapore, but also Malaysia, Philippines, and we extended the invite to the entire YSEALI family. So in that way, we really wanted to foster a lot of collaboration and also hear, what other people are doing in their countries.
Beautiful. Can I ask, Dedra or Mary, the YSEALI Summit for this December here in Indonesia, right? How many participants are going to be here? Yeah, Mary?
So we're planning on 150 participants from all across ASEAN countries and Timor-Leste. We're finalizing details about it now, but we often on the summits will focus on one particular element of YSEALI, like civic engagement or environment. But because this year is the 10th anniversary, we really want to celebrate everything that YSEALI has done. And so we are going to bring together people from all of the 4 pillars of YSEALI, from all of the generations of YSEALI, so our YSEALI elders, right, Lita, as well as our YSEALI babies that we have, who are just coming up. And we're going to bring everybody together for a big celebration in December.
Thank you, Ibu Mary. Lita, do you want to add anything about the integration of ASEAN and Timor-Leste?
Yeah, for me, YSEALI is for the future. It's really helped us because for the academic, mostly focusing to building our skill, but academic for the Seed for Future is eligibility. It should be not only one team from the country. Should be like 2, 3 members from other country. So it help us also. We are thinking who people the alumni can we ask collaborate with. So for me, the Seeds for the Future is really impactful. And then after like YSEALI workshop also, even because the YSEALI workshop is not really much people, but they are gathered in Southeast Asians and also Timor Leste. That is really impactful for me. Yeah.
So I'm gonna take one more from this side. The students from UPH, yes, please, you.
I am delighted to be here and thank you for the opportunity. I am Dominic Dolphin and I am from Pelita Harapan University, majoring in communication science. I would like to address a question regarding the YSEALI project. I believe that a great plan requires great execution. What is the most concern or care of, since we all know that there is a lot of difference in background, level of education, and cultural, especially in Asian countries. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Maybe Lita, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, for me, the plan is important, but don't think much for plan. So do the execution first, and then after the execution, you will see the process. Is it good in the future or is good enough? So start with the plan, but don't think much about the plan. At least you have SMART goals. The SMART goal is really simple. Like if you have a project, make the specific, measurable, and then achievable, measurable, and time bound. And then after SMART goal, it's only one paper, you know. And then when I was in YSEALI Academy Fellowship, I also learned about a lean canvas. It's like business model canvas, but for the social project, it's only white paper also. After one paper, you make the like a small descriptions and then do implementations because the most important is implementation. Because if you just thinking, you don't know the result, right? Take this first step. Yeah, that's my answer.
Thank you, Lita. And Sam, do you want to add?
Yeah, I think, having worked across different ASEAN countries, and I think everyone also has different priorities. So I say, before going into a project as well, it's really important to communicate your expectations and commitment as part of the project, and really be very open on your capability and time, and be understanding of each other's challenges, whatever they may be. So for me, I think communication is really key. And of course, yeah, just do it. I think a lot of us spend a lot of time planning and, really the time to put into action. So I think really the time is now. So yeah, I think it's a bit cheesy, but to, really just do it and just make sure that, you have a great team with you.
And Assistant Secretary, any advice for young leaders who wants to make a change in their
I
community?
can't top that. I like that. Just act, right? Just do it. And I'm really inspired by you both who've talked about it is important to plan, but it's more important to do. And thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Please give a round of applause for our panelists and to everyone attending this great discussion. Yes.
Yes, you know what? We've got some great news. We have a little extra time, so we could take one more question.
One more
One
question.
more lucky person.
Okay.
So exciting.
I'm just gonna give the honor to Assistant Secretary. Do you wanna
I
pick
get to
the
choose?
final
Oh my gosh.
question?
Well, I have to. The first hand I saw right here. Yeah, that's you. It reminds me, I went to an auction when I was a young boy, and the way that you bid is you put your hand up, and my father held my hand and said, "Do not raise your hand no matter what." But your father's not here, so I saw your raised hand. You're
Thank
it.
you so much. So hello, my name is Gratia from International Relations Studies, Pelita Harapan University. And my questions is, from your experience through YSEALI, also you have your own campaign, your programs. I want to know like what are the challenges, struggles that you have found through your career in YSEALI. Thank you.
Okay, this will be a long story, but I will make it short. Yeah, this secret, but this public, but it's okay. I hope that it will inspire you. So I got on grants 2015, so that's years is my final years. But for me, if I got something, I should do my best. And then I'm trying to postpone my study. So if the bachelor's normally 4 years, I took 7 years, almost drop out. But I'm happy because even I believe I graduate with the right time because many friends that they graduate 3 years, 4 years, but they asking me, "Have you job for me?" Hey, I'm not graduated yet. Why you asking me? That's questions. So that's also yeah my it's not my sad story, but I'm really motivated because even people say yeah you are almost drop out, but if you asking me why I almost 7 years because I do this this is the reason. So yeah, this is one of the challenge, but alhamdulillah I can pass that. And then beside that also, and because mostly my team in Southeast Asian countries also students, so they have some of the yeah they have opportunity. And then because I have project, yeah I should also deep understanding about them, mutual understanding. So even they are study, okay, take your study, take your time, I can do myself. And then if I need help, can you help me? So yeah, you should mutual understanding with your team. You can force them to help you if they have other priority. So this kind of story about my YSEALI journey, but it's really common in my friends that yeah I took the challenge 7 years today.
Thank you, Lita, for sharing that story. And Sam, do you want to share any challenges?
Yeah, thanks for your question. I really relate to that because I think for us, we've been juggling pretty much 2 to 3 jobs at the same time pursuing our passions. So I think one thing, other challenges is really burnout, being very conscious of doing too much, even though we are caring for others, that we forget to care for ourselves. So that's something I'm trying to practice, not just outer sustainability, but inner sustainability. Yeah, and I'm sure we can all relate to this as well. So maybe some practical advice is that I try to stick to the rule of three. There should be only three big things in my life, and that could be with my partner and my family. And then now that's sustainable, and that's also my other project. So I try to keep it to three. So to make sure that I'm taking care of myself, and I think by taking care of yourself, then you're also able to invest more of your passion and efforts elsewhere.
Thank you. And Assistant Secretary, do you want to share any challenge you faced during your diplomatic career?
Oh my God, we don't have enough time to talk about all the challenges. I would just say I'm really inspired by the wisdom of Lita and Sam because I think the challenges that you've outlined, those are never going to change. I'm really old. I'm 55 years old now, and I still struggle with the same thing, forgetting to take care of myself, maybe having too many things going on. But I think that you can learn these lessons very early on. But for me, the struggle never ends, right? And the important thing is I just try to get up every day and I do my best and I focus on the things I can control. I try not to be too hard on myself because I can only do so many things. And then the most important thing, the reason why I've had the same job for almost 30 years now is because the most satisfying thing to me is to be part of a team of really inspiring, talented people working towards the same goal. And if you can do that and come to work every day and find your people that inspire you, I think you can do great things. That's been my experience. But I'm really inspired by both of you today. Very wise.
Thank you so much, Assistant Secretary Lita and Sam. So one thing to sum up is for you as young leaders, be the change that you want to see in your life and starts now because in YSEALI, we always believe that you are never too young to lead. So my name is Putra. I hope to see you in the next YSEALI event and YSEALI program, and I'll give it back to At America. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Kaputra, Secretary General, and all the speakers for today. Once again, can we give a big round of applause to all the speakers and moderator for today? All right, everyone, if you want to keep updated for our next event, you can follow our social media. We have on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, AT America. Once again, happy 10 years YSEALI. My name is Patricia Elizabeth. See you on the other At America events. Bye!